Welcome to Nanny Knowledge with Miss Jen. Welcome, mommies, daddies, nannies, and grannies, or anyone who might just be looking for information about all things baby. Everything from newborns, infants, toddlers, children. We'll cover it all here. I invite you to subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updates and notifications every time we post new videos. In this video, we're going to be talking about traveling with children on an airplane. Traveling with little ones on an airplane is not always going to be easy, but you know what, mommies, you can do this with a little bit of patience, some compassion, and a lot of love. Another favorite fun traveling tip of mine, window clings. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not a sticker, but it sticks on windows and glass and surfaces like your refrigerator, maybe with a little moisture on the back, but it doesn't have the sticky adhesive glue stuff on the back, so you can take them off, remove them, and reuse them. You see them a lot around Christmas time. They're little snowmen and Santa Clauses. I'm not talking about the sticky, thick gel ones, gel clings. I wouldn't bring a gel cling on an airplane. They can get stuck in fabric and material, stuck in your hair, stuck in kiddos' hair. I've had to cut some of that out before, and it's kind of messy. Sometimes it ends up in a pocket somewhere or a backpack and it gets all melty. Might end up in the laundry. But those stickers, sticky ones, the window clings are my favorite. It doesn't matter if they're seasonal. If it's not Christmas time, if you're flying in July to Jamaica and you've got a Santa Claus, they're not going to care. If your kiddo makes a comment about, Mom, it's not even Christmas time, why do we have Santa Claus stickers? Then that kiddo's probably too old to be playing with window clings anyway. Just saying. So bring those window clings, let them put them all over the windows, all over the seat tray table in front of you. Just make sure you clean up after yourself and pick those up when you're done so that somebody else doesn't have to come behind you and clean up after you. Plus, it's kind of handy to have those with you when you get to the hotel room or your destination, whether it be grandma's house or some resort spa. That way they can use them on the windows there too. Decorate the mirrors in the bathroom, play with them during bath time on the walls in the bath, in the shower glass doors, on the windows if you have a window in your hotel room. Just make sure to clean them up when they're done. Another important toddler traveler tip. Say that 10 times real fast. If you're traveling with a toddler who's in the middle of potty training, here's a few tips for you. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to try to keep that kiddo on schedule, going on their potty breaks at scheduled times. Using the restroom on an airplane is hard enough as it is, even for an adult. I mean, it's cramped in there. It's loud in there. The toilet flush practically sucks you down. I don't necessarily think that a kiddo would need to stick to their potty training schedule on an airplane. I would advise maybe just have that kiddo in some pull-ups before you get on the plane. Maybe they could try using the restroom in the public restroom at the airport and see how long they can maybe hold it on the airplane. Give that child permission to use a pull-up instead of the potty on the airplane. Public restrooms are so dirty as it is, especially on those little airplanes. Sometimes those loud public restroom potty flushes are so loud it scares the child and it makes them afraid to use the potty in public places. I don't blame them. It's hard to keep your kiddos clean in a public restroom too. They're touching everything. They're playing with the toilet paper roll. They want to wash their hands on the sink and touch the paper towel dispensers. But sitting on a potty is especially challenging for little tiny tushies. They're falling in half the time. Unless you have one of those toilet potty training insert plastic seats that goes on top of the adult potty so that they're not falling in. It's more appropriate for their size. But then you want to make sure that you bring some serious disinfecting spray or wipes or something to clean that off because you're putting it on a public toilet, potty. If you really want to stick to your potty training schedule for that little one on the airplane, have that handy with you. Have it in a discreet backpack or a little tote bag or something to carry down the aisle with you when you're taking your little one to the potty. Again, I personally just feel like it might be easier to just skip the potty on that airplane trip and let them have pull-ups on. If it's a long, long flight over the ocean, you might have better luck with keeping them on that potty training schedule. Good luck. That's a tough one. Another toddler traveling tip. Have that kiddo sit in the middle of two grown-ups if you can. You don't ever want that little guy or girl on the end of the aisle seat where all the action is. People are walking by. They might get their fingers smashed by the food cart. Keep them in the center between the two grown-ups, whether it's mommy and mommy or nanny and granny, whoever's there caring for the kiddos. Let that little one be in the middle seat so that you can both take turns paying attention to that little one. If they're old enough or should I maybe say tall enough to see out the window, it might be nice to let them have a turn sitting by the window, especially upon takeoff and landing. That's an activity, a time stretching activity that you can do with that little guy or girl so that they can look out the window, see the clouds, maybe look down below and see the city lights or some big landmarks like a big stadium or an amusement park or the mountains, snow on the mountains. It's really fun pointing things like that out. And it's a fun opportunity for your little ones to learn about how high they are up in the sky and all the little tiny things down below, the cars and the rivers and the mountains. It's just a beautiful experience for their first time. Another toddler traveling tip. Let your kiddos ask the flight attendant for their own snacks and drinks. This is just something that gives them a feeling of being in control, or it puts them in charge of their own snacks and their own eating. It makes them feel important, it makes them feel involved, and makes them feel special. Let them order their own pretzels or snacks. If you feel like the snacks on the airplane aren't going to be appealing to your child, again, make sure you have their own little snack cups or zippy bags full of goldfish or pretzels or whatever their favorite snacks are. I would avoid M&Ms, chocolate trail mix kinds of things. I would avoid trail mixes that have chocolate candies in them. Chocolate in general probably isn't a good idea, even if it's in those little granola bars, just because chocolate's going to amp them up with sugar and caffeine, and you're going to have one wild, crazy little kid on that airplane, right? Stick to fruits, dried fruits, snacks that aren't going to make them too thirsty because they're going to be drinking and thirsty drinking, and then they're going to be going potty a lot. Whether you've got a kiddo that's potty training, or just a kid that's bored and antsy and wants to get up and down and walk up and down the aisles, you want to make that bathroom break potty excuse just a little less accessible to that kiddo. So try to find snacks that aren't too salty. You might want to avoid caffeinated drinks and sodas and juices that are really full of sugar. That's just going to get them all wound up and antsy and wiggly. All wiggly. Another tip that isn't quite so fun to talk about, but I feel is necessary: motion sickness or air sickness. If this is your kiddo's first time being on an airplane, it might feel foreign to them, it might feel uncomfortable to them, and they're not going to know why. You're up in the air, you've got altitude, sometimes that gives them pressure in their tummy. They might feel gassy. We call them altitudes. Altitudes. Your little ones might be having tummy troubles on that plane, which may, in that case, require a trip to the restroom, even if they are in potty training mode. You know, airplanes are loud. The fuselage is usually cold. Sometimes the sinus pressure, tummy pressure. Again, their ears are popping. The pressure feels weird to them. The fuselage is really loud from the engines. There's smells. There's other kids crying and making sounds. Their tummy might hurt. On that note, you might want to locate the barf bags. Is there a better way to say that? You might want to find those barf bags that are located in the seat in front of you, just in case. If you're not keen on touching that and handling that, there are some barf bags that are available on different various websites that you can find online that I can put the link down below for you. If you have a specific trick or brand of barf bag that you bring on your airline, on your trips, leave it in the comments down below for me if you would. I'm always looking for good products for that. I have found a few that are cute and they come in 6 packs or a pack of 12. But if you have a brand or a specific thing that you use for that, leave it in the comments below. I'd be curious to hear what your solution is to that. If you really liked this video and you'd like to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up. Put some comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm always open to your suggestions. I invite you to subscribe so you can get updates and information as it comes along. Traveling with little ones on an airplane is not always going to be easy, but you know what, mommies, you can do this with a little bit of patience, some compassion, and a lot of love. I'm Miss Jen. Thanks for joining us here on Nanny Knowledge with Miss Jen. So can we as adults. It's hard enough for us to get comfortable on that I feel something weird. Here's another trip. Let pop our own ears. We can another fun Another fun tip might be to give. Oh, my mouth won't work. None of that's happening today. They might just scare that little one. Sometimes. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is the end of part 2. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks again.